Hey, welcome back, guys, to another episode of SW Outdoors, Skywalker Outdoors, Jean-Luc. And today we are actually going to be going over friction savers. First time with it too, so I'll bring you guys along, how I'm going to set it up, how I've set it up, and a couple new things that I got today. And I'll show you in the video, as well do a short for these description of these products, and let's get to it, guys. All right, so I got all mine, a harness. I did get some pulleys, like I said, some rings for a friction saver. I got some carabiners, but for some reason they'd given, I've ordered a pack of 5. They only gave me 1. So gonna be ordering some more of those just so I can have some extra stuff on me when I need it. But and I also went out and got a 3-pack of some GM 30-inch Pressix. Eye to eyes, just to start on a new climbing system. That's the reason why I did the friction saver, because I'm trying to see about the moving rope system and how efficient, I could get up into the tree with the moving rope system, but I don't want to damage my rope. So again, want to save it with using this system. All right, guys, let's get the throw line up and I'll show you how I've learned to set this up. All right, so I got the line in the tree. I'm gonna bring it down. Because this tree is dense with its bark, it's really hard for the line to just fully slide down. So that's the reason why I'm probably off camera. Well, that's the reason why I created that friction saver with those 2 loops. And I'm going to show how I have learned to set it up. All right, so change of angle to better, where'd it go? To better get what I've got going on. So I've got my weighted end over here. Now again, the friction saver, the idea, again, wrap arounding a branch so that, again, with this bark, it's not tearing into that rope as I do the moving rope system. Again, it goes around and Pressix loop, knotted end, and again, with Pressix, with friction, weight, they'll both bind over the tree branch with no issues. So that's the plan. So the big eye is going to hold the line, where this end of the small end is I'm going to take my weight off, feed the line through, reattaching this, and then feeding the end of this through the big loop, pulling it over the tree. And once it clicks together, I can go back down the tree. So let's see how it works. And then retie my end line to my main line and bring it through. Yeah. So, like I said, take that off, just pull that through, bringing the end of that through the small eye, and then reattaching it just like so. With 1 loop, 2, 3, and this is my modified sheet bend, which again, you can go on the channel, find that out, but I do like using the sheet spin just for all my knots, tying them together, ropes, stuff like that. I do love the sheet spin. just like that, but it's modified because I do have a bite in it, so all I have to do is pull it and it comes back through. So just like so, where this is, and then I will get the end of my other rope, putting it through the big eye, and as I pull my main line, that's going to go around, but we are going to do a little bit of adjusting, so let me get a better angle for you guys. All right, so you see, as I'm going up in that union, hopefully you can see the glare is not too bad, and hopefully it's going to wrap around that. So what I was seeing in videos is that you give it a good old tug, just like so, and I think it is too small. Yep, the branch is way wider than I assumed it would be. All right, hey guys, so like I initially was doing, getting it over there, it actually got stuck, so I actually had to regular climb, friction up there to get it unstuck, and finally got the friction saver over where I was initially climbing, and now I got the rope up there, and so all they said was really good tug, and she threw the 2 loops, and now we bring her down to show you guys the new gear and how I'm gonna start climbing straight up with a couple overhands to keep her straight. That's how I got it over. And now, like I said, let's get to climbing. So I'm actually gonna pull all my line through, get it away from me. I actually have it thrown, most of it back behind me. When I initially was climbing, see, one moment. So after that tangled mess, we're finally here. So what we're gonna do is I do have the stopper knot. I also have the stopper knot. No, I don't. But do I have all this? So nonetheless, all right, so I'm gonna untake my stopper. And what I'm actually going to do is make a, what's it called? A poacher's. And use that with my carabiner, hook it to my harness, and then I'll show you guys what I do with my new friction gear. All right guys, so this is how I do it with my carabiner, with the poachers, with just an overhand right here, so in case of anything, good, but it usually doesn't or hasn't slipped. But yeah, here's that, and then now I'm going to show you guys my friction setup. All right, so like I said, with my moving rope system, I actually have the pulley. So much better this way. There you go. The pulley system with a Catalone hitch. So I also have a video on that, but this is what I'm using. Got a little, like I said, while I was up the tree. Dude, gloves, because sometimes this friction right here wears you out, but this is how I do it for right now. And again, I'm working on it. Moving rope systems, standalone systems, again, like I was doing with my foot ascender. Just things that I'm working on as far as just climbing and just getting up into the canopy and stuff like that. But we're actually going to, like I said, just test out this friction saver because when doing it initially, it doesn't look like it, but I'm sure over time it will definitely wear out the rope with all that constant moving around. And I might go down or go up, get over to this branch, and then maybe do a retrievable redirect off of this branch and then come down shorter. So, see you up there, guys. All right, guys, got the camera. I'm up in the tree and all my stuff, but I am going to show you a retrieval redirect right here from my point up there, again with my friction saver right there, which is working phenomenally. But we're going to see the end results once we take it down, and I'll show you how to retrieve that once we're done with everything. This chin strap, but it's a really good helmet. I enjoy it. Safety first. I told you guys with coming up here, always be safe. Always rely, put weight on your gear before you transfer, because right now I am lanyard looped over here. I know it's just a small branch-ish, but once I'm done, I'm actually gonna try to get a lanyard loop down here and then attach my, again, redirect, retrievable redirect right here. And yeah, let's get it done. All right, guys, I've been out here for hours, had to take off that helmet, but I'm gonna detach all the gear. I do like these new eye to eyes. They're phenomenal. Like I said, I'm gonna do a couple new hitches that I've learned. But this slips pretty good as far as up and down. At least, well, friction hold is great. Letting out is phenomenal. Does got a little wear, but I did get 3 of these. So I am going to like interchange them periodically as I do this, not trying to wear out the same one. But it is GM. And this is the Poachers, and it secures really well, especially under tension. But again, it won't come through unless you remove, again, like I said, that carabiner right there, then you're good to go. Make a knot that won't catch the small eye, or it might get stuck in the big eye. You know what I mean? So let's do this. So initially, like we did, we took it over with this end of the rope. What we're actually going to do is untie this. Again, like I said, did a lot of half hitches. And then I did a Canadian jam with that to initially bite onto the rope. But what we're actually going to do is toss that aside, and what we're going to do is tie it to the end of this, so in case we have an issue, we can always pull the rope back. You know what I mean? So let's see. So just tie a good couple knots on this, and
Just gonna go up. Woo! The thing started swinging because I stepped on it. All right, so there we're at, and we give it a good tug, and she's over. There we go. All right, well, that's how you retrieve it. So yeah, let me get the rest down and I'll show you how it looks. So here you go, guys. Doesn't see any wears or anything like that and strains, and this thing definitely worked. Like I said, caught these two together. I guess maybe this is where it was rubbing, because it does have some rubbing on it. I don't really know what. But yeah, take this stopper knot out real quick. I'm gonna replace that back in there anyways. So like I said, one of my blue cords, I got these two rings, 40 kilonewtons it does say, and then 22 kilonewtons. But what I did with this was pressic loop to bite really well. So again, I can, whoops, let's loosen these up. So I can slide it along the rope depending on the, again, union and what I'm trying to loop around. Again, more is good, less is bad. Always try to do the best as far as judging whatever kind of size union you are getting around. But yeah, pressed around this. And then I did girth hitch. Or would you say girth hitch? Or would you say more of like a bull? But again, you can take this ring off and it's not going to slide. It does come off like this. But again, with all that added weight, I don't feel like it's going to make that jump around the ring. So it's not fixed per se. I could maybe loop it and make it like a stopper, but I don't feel it's slipping. But yeah, guys, that's the friction. Got new gear, safety equipment. I am gonna need some new gloves, man. This is killing me. But I do like the moving rope. I feel that it's a more secure type of climb, especially with the hitch. I did see a wrench type situation from, forgot the brand, but y'all guys put it in the comments. A rope wrench type stuff for these types of pulley friction situations. I want to get some more foot rope, or is it, for your knee ascender, foot ascender, just so it's an easier climb, because that, I would say, takes more exertion with the moving rope than the standard rope climb situation that I was doing initially. But always a good exercise. So until next time, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.